To one of the top stories we're tracking for you this hour. 4 people have reportedly died following a fire in an abandoned building in Johannesburg and 3 have been injured. City of Joburg Emergency Management Services firefighters as well are currently attending to the fire in Jeppestown. Now, firefighters have managed to extinguish the fire. They believe at this stage the cause of the fire is illegal connections. For more on the story now, let's bring in SABC News reporter Puseletse Mokoena, who joins us live in Johannesburg. So, Puseletse, quite a tragic story to come out of there. So give us more details. What more do we know about the story?
Thank you so much, Mkolisi. Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers at home. Yes, indeed, we are coming to you live from Jeppestown here in Johannesburg, where a fire incident occurred in the early hours of this morning. I'm just going to step out of the shot so that my camera colleague here, Mpoma, can just show you how busy it is here. As you can see that the firefighters managed to extinguish the fire that took place in Jeppestown here in Johannesburg in the early hours of this morning. The firefighters from the City of Johannesburg Emergency Services have managed to extinguish the fire. Talking about the City of Johannesburg Emergency Services, Mkolisi, with me right now I have the spokesperson, Mr. Robert Mulaudzi, who's going to tell us more about the damage of the fire. Mr. Robert, thank you so much for your time. Can you briefly tell us what happened here?
Yeah, we received a call early hours of this morning at around 1:15 that there is a building which is on fire at the corners of Yani and Julius Street in Jeppestown. Yes, on arrival we found the building well alight. We started evacuating the residents who were inside the building. After that, while we were conducting our firefighting operations, there were 3 people who came out of the building who injured. They also suffered some smoke inhalation. One of those patients who were critically injured received medical attention here on site from our paramedics from Gauteng EMS. He was later on transported to Charlotte Maxeke Hospital for further medical care. The other 2 patients who suffered smoke inhalation were transported to Hillbrow for further medical care. We can also confirm that while we were conducting our search and recovery operation in the building, we managed to recover 4 bodies. Unfortunately, those 4 bodies, paramedics confirmed them dead on scene. So that is the situation right now. In terms of the cause of the fire incident at this stage, the cause of the fire is still a subject of investigations. We have also activated our disaster management officials who are on site. We have got our colleagues from City Power who are here also to try and disconnect some of the illegal connections in the building. And also our officials from the city who are here with us to facilitate some relief for the affected residents.
Mr. Robert, the first report was that 3 people lost their lives, but the second report came and it says 4 people. Where did the 4th person come from?
Yes, right now we are doing what we call damping down, since you can see that the fire has been stopped. So damping down is extinguishing the hot spots. So we are actually sweeping the building so that our viewers can be able to understand what we're talking about. So starting from the ground floor up until the last floor, which the residents actually created. If you look up in the building, you'll see that there's another floor, which is an extra floor, which the residents created. So we're sweeping throughout the whole building just to remove any uncertainty of any person who might still be missing, out of the people who have been evacuated in the building. After we have done that, we are going to hand over the building to the South African Police Service to now continue with their own investigations.
What damage did the fire did inside?
Yeah, of course, the building is an abandoned building. There's a lot of partitions and sheet metals which the residents have been using to divide the building. The building is actually this area where we are. It's actually an industrial site. If you look around, you'll see most of the buildings which are here, that industrial buildings. So they actually divided it with those partitions using those sheet metals to divide the whole building so that they can be able to reside. So it was not the building is not a residential area, but it's an abandoned building.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Robert. Well, Mkolisi, there you have it. That was the City of Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesperson, Mr. Robert Mulaudzi, telling us more about what happened in this building exactly behind me. I'm also going to step out of the shot so that my camera colleague can show you which building I'm talking about. Well, Mkolisi, this is a 3-story building that caught fire, as you heard from the City of Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesperson Robert Mulaudzi telling us that this is really not a residential building. However, it is an abandoned building there, so the people have been living here, not taking into consideration that this is not a building for people to be residing. But I don't know if I can get the councillor of the area. Councillor, I don't know if you can be able to tell us if, Mkolisi, with me, I have the councillor of the area who is going to tell us more about this building as the councillor of this area. Councillor, thank you so much for your time. I hear that this building is not really a residential building, but people have been occupying it. Can you please tell us more about that?
Angikubingelele mfowethu, ngibingelele nama-viewers emakhaya. Ngidlulise ukukhathazeka kakhulu emndenini elahlekele izihlobo zabo akade sihlala ngaphakathi ebuilding because sithole okwamanje sathole ukuthi kunabantu abayi4 abashonile, abayi2 abesilisa and then abayi2 abatholakali kahle ukuthi abesilisa abesifazane because bashiye kakhulu. So ke into eyenzakalayo kule building ishile ebusuku ngabo makwara past 1 uma yisha abahlala ngaphakathi kwi-building ngokungekho ke emthethweni sizosho kanjalo kulokuswela indawo nje kwi-City of Johannesburg because isedrobheni asibenefit kuma RDP njengabantu basemalokishini, so abantu bagcina besebenzisa ke lamabhilidi awulolu hlobo for indawo zokuhlala. Kwakungeyona ibuilding yokuhlala abantu le, kwakwa ikhampani amafema ayesebenza obaba nomkhulu before ahamba amafema, lokuhamba kwamafema eSouth Africa belungu bebuyela phesheya asala empty ama-building, so awasenzi lutho. Abantu ke bawabuka njengendawo abangakhona ukuthi behlale kwizo.
So when did you hear about this? When did you hear about the fire as the councillor?
As ukhansela ngithole i-call ngokwara past 1 ebusuku ukuthi kuyasha, and then ke ngafonela i-EMS within 7 minutes ya responda yafika kwisini sastarta lapho ukuthi sicime umlilo.
Councillor, thank you so much for your time. Well, Mkolisi, that was councillor of the area in which we are here currently, which is the Jeppestown here in Johannesburg, telling us more about this building is really not a building for people to reside, but people have been residing in this building behind me here that sadly caught fire, and sad enough, 4 people have lost their lives in the result of the fire that took place in the early hours of this morning. But right now, Mkolisi, it's back to you in studio.
And of course, we'll park it there. And of course, speaking there to the councillor as well, passing a message of comfort to those who lost their loved ones in this tragic incident. And of course, possibly tying it to the lack of accommodation for the people in the area. That's reported there. Puseletse, Mokoena watching that story for us.